Greetings, Diski fam. Welcome to another episode of the Sisonke Diski Chat. This is a show where we speak everything, and I mean everything, about Mzansi football. Obviously, looking at the two big teams in the country, that is Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. Today's episode is no different, and today I'm joined by legends because we usually are joined by legends on this show, and in their own right, they are legends. And without wasting any further time, I'm actually going to introduce them to you. And I'm going to start right here with Mpho Letsholonyane. Welcome to the Sisonke Diski Chat.
Greetings. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
It is an absolute
and
pleasure.
Thato Moeng.
Sure, Tommy.
Welcome to the Sisonke Diski Chat.
Thank you so much for having me on Sisonke Diski Chat. It's a real honor to be here. I've been watching and wondering,
When do
what could
I
I invite? Then I figured that it was probably going to be seen as nepotism because we're good friends, but I'm very happy that you invited me.
So she let the cat out the bag because if nobody knew,
Now they know. All right, gonna get straight into it. I mean, you guys both sports broadcasters. You have been for many years, and I'm gonna start with you, Mpho. Growing up, which team did you support?
growing up, I didn't support a specific team, but my father was and still is a massive Kaizer Chiefs fan. So if there's anything I know, it's Chiefs and Orlando Pirates from since I was very young.
So were you forced?
Yeah, kinda. It was one of those situations, you know. There's no Pagani as Monkrum, so you had to sort of become a Kosi supporter. So I then kinda became a Kosi supporter by default, but even then, it's only because of the upbringing and because, like I say, that's all I knew. So yeah, that's the team I supported. Supported being the operative words.
Is it weird to be a broadcaster, Thato, to have a team that you support, like openly out there, like Ele Pagane or Ele Kosi, and there you have to go report on a game of a team that you support?
Well, I think as sport broadcasters, the most important thing that sometimes we forget is that we are journalists.
Yes.
And the first thing about being a journalist is objectivity. So, no, you do not support a certain club. And even if you do not openly say so. Because it is going to be awkward. I mean, can you imagine having an interview or a chat or investigating a certain club and you are a fan of the other club?
Yeah.
So, traditionally in South Africa, I think most journalists and sport broadcasters, including myself, you keep it hush, buddy.
But also the other thing, the fans will also never make you forget.
Yes,
they'll
yes,
never
yes,
let
yes.
you forget. If you are openly out there and saying, this is my team, the day you are broadcasting that particular team and you lose, they will not let you forget.
And I mean, I think already on social media, I think you've also experienced it, Mpho, you're always given a team nonetheless. One day you're a Chiefs supporter, one day you're a Pirates supporter, one day you support, I don't know, pigeon racing, just because it's a nice, game of chess, a nice game of musical chairs, keep them guessing. But there's a couple of fans who also have stats about when we do certain games.
Of course.
Yeah, so.
Do you guys keep track of the games you do, or like, game is game, on to the next one?
I don't. I don't.
Like with players, they'll be like, okay, this one played 500 minutes and assisted wara wara. You don't have those kind of stats?
To be honest, I don't, unless it's like a really massive game. Those are the ones that I keep track of. But the other ones, generally, it's a game is a game, and I'm there to do a significant game and do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Because every game has to be done to the best of your ability. I try not to have that whole, I'm doing it smaller teams. I give every team the respect that they deserve.
Why are you counting the games?
No, more like, it's very interesting. After you've worked a couple of years, what I need to do is now collect and do a summation of my data. I do notice sometimes that I'll do games for certain clubs, big or small, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then they don't win. Like I've never.
So are you like the? Are you
No,
like
no,
the?
no,
the-
no,
the- the-
no. And then I
Teams
also
are there
no,
on some,
no,
like,
no, Len. I'm
we
just
don't want
saying.
Thato on the broadcasting
I'm-
schedule.
I'm just saying there are certain teams who have broadcasted their games, and this is over a space of over a decade. And I'm like, yo, are you guys gonna win today?
Because it just never happens.
You know,
when you're there.
and when you start looking at these funny little stats, monikers that you have, everybody's got that. I mean, who can ever forget a root crawl with the salmon shirt?
Yes.
So I also sometimes have things I do that people won't notice, like I'll wear certain earrings for my mood that day. And usually when I go home, like, oh, I was right.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I also count like man of the match accolades. There are certain players, and we don't choose the man of the match,
Yeah.
but there are certain players who, when I've given you a good 6 man of the match accolades, you know, there are certain players who have never given man of the match accolades. So it's quite interesting to look at that kind of data.
But my favorite thing is, we might not, well, you do, but we might not really keep up. But there are certain clubs, the moment you arrive, they're like, we've won.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
what do you mean? They're like, because you are doing our game. We have won. And you're like,
No,
oh,
yeah, there
okay.
are certain clubs
Yeah.
that I've never done a game that they've lost.
Yeah.
And there was this cool little, not a stat, but I only realized when I sat back and looked at my career that the only time I actually really missed a Soweto derby was when I was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Interesting.
I was literally, I'm like, okay, so a season has never passed without at least attaining a Soweto derby. And it just takes me back also to the fact that, man, we miss the fans.
I know, right?
Man, we miss the fans.
Sure.
Oh,
So speaking of on the point of the fans and the point of the Soweto derby, I'm gonna start with you, Mpho. Do you remember the first Soweto derby you attended as not Mpho the broadcaster, but as Mpho, I'm going to the Soweto derby?
I think I must have been a child. I must have been a child at the time when I attended my first Soweto derby with my dad, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was at Ellis Park Stadium. That's how long ago it was. But as a broadcaster, but not in sports broadcasting, must have been in my YFM days. You know, that's when
And as a sports broadcaster?
As a sports broadcaster, I think my very first one, do I even remember? I don't think I remember.
I remember.
No,
Actually, you are the stats
I'm trying to
person.
think. I'm trying to think.
You are the stats
no,
person.
as a sports broadcaster, I think my very first one, I probably went with my sister at the FNB Stadium. Because every time I've gone to a Soweto derby when I'm not working, it was always with my sister.
Nice.
And for you?
Sadly, I also can't remember.
The first one?
Sadly, I cannot remember because unfortunately most of the time we're always working the games.
Yeah.
So I actually don't think I've had the pleasure of attending a Soweto derby as a fan. No, I don't remember.
Wow.
It's actually...
But also the tickets are few and far between, guys. Let's not lie. Proper Soweto derby when they were fans. It's not easy to just, ta-da, there's tickets.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So you needed to have had a plug somewhere because, to be honest, I don't think I've ever bought a ticket in my life. and that's like not trying to be funny.
Accreditation works.
You know, accreditation works, connections work. So it's one of those, if I didn't get a ticket, then I wouldn't be going type of thing.
I'm really trying to rake my brain because when you mentioned that your first derby was probably with your dad, I do remember going to a match with my dad, go Odi Stadium, Kumapupan,
Wow.
right? And that's where I got to meet Dr. Kamal.
16V.
I was so excited. Went back to school the next day. They said I was lying, but anyway. But I'm just trying to remember if that was a derby or a game with another team. But
Outside of that, nothing comes to mind. And when you are out there in the field, be it the Soweto derby or Chiefs versus Sundowns or Pirates versus Sundowns, because we know those are the huge games in this country, there's over 50,000 people screaming, vuvuzela, whistling, and don't you get like,
goodness.
in Afrikaans we say geskrik.
No.
You do.
I actually don't, but this is why I'm saying that we need the fans back. It's like, for me, it's not getting scared.
It's excitement.
There's no better feeling than being in the middle of the park, 90,000 seater F&B stadium, and it's blaring. It's
You can barely hear what's happening in your ears.
Yes, but you actually get to absorb all that energy. And and I suppose that's why it's so important that our fans come back. I look at Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates and how they've been playing. And if they could just get that injection of energy from the fans, I'm telling you, Brad, it's going to be hot.
but with that said, I feel like the first probably 5 minutes, that's where you're nervous. You're really nervous because at that moment it hits you. I've got over 50,000 eyes here that are looking at me. I've got over however many millions at home that are watching me. So you want to get, because the first 30 seconds of your link is very important. That almost sets the tone for whatever's going to happen. If you fumble those first 30 seconds, it's over. It is literally downhill from
go home.
You know what I mean?
Interestingly, you say that with a lot of other legends of both Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. It's almost the same with them. The first touch when they step onto the field
important.
Is your whole
very
game.
important, because if you mess that up, it's most likely gonna mess up the rest of your game.
Yeah, because mentally you're now playing catch up all the time. So those first 30 seconds when you say, greetings, welcome to the FNB Stadium. This is what, you don't want to be saying Mamelodi Sundowns and it's Chiefs and Pirates. Because then it's like, okay,
It's like,
breathe. And at that time, you probably also have people laughing in your ear because they're like, woo, what just happened there? You know? So there's so many things that are happening in your head, so many things. You're trying to remember numbers, you're trying to remember significant moments because it is such a big occasion. So those first 30 seconds are very, very important. But then also if you're stationed during the fans, you're hoping that nobody is brushing your bum, nobody is, being funny, because there's also that happening.
Yeah, because I was actually going to ask. I mean, there are a whole lot of things that happen when you attend a match as big as the Soweto Derby. You either in a helicopter or you either with the fans as
I
they
still
come.
haven't done the helicopter. She has.
I've done the helicopter.
Okay, you're gonna tell us about your helicopter experience. But how do you have like a ritual that you do? Like, okay, cool. Today is Soweto Derby day. I don't know. Do you use your right leg to get out of the house first,
rituals.
or do you
comb
your hair from left to right?
I've got rituals.
I don't have rituals. I just literally just say, listen, use me to say whatever you need to say. I speak through you. That's it.
What's your ritual?
I've got rituals.
What are your rituals?
I do,
Favorite underwear?
No, so listen, I literally wear like certain colors. Like today if I wear this color, I know, I wish I was a betting person, but I'm not. But it's always so nice to walk away from the field like, I knew they were going to win today. And I'm wearing this certain color. And then usually also sometimes I have told people that I'll wear earrings, like kind of signal who's going to win today. I used to have...
Are you giving us your secrets? Give us your secrets. Give us.
We're gonna have fans coming and Thato and someone wear these clothes today. So they're gonna go sit and they're actually gonna look at patterns of what was she wearing.
I need a jeweler to curate and create some new jewelry for me representing the teams and the DSTV Prem. Because I do have a couple of, so I'll find little, marketing because I always wear studs. So those are my kind of rituals. Like if I don't have my earrings on, my whole day is a mess and I will be late for work. I'd rather not have makeup than not have my earrings on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just, like you say, mentally you talk to yourself, you do all your prep the night before you get to the stadium. And it's very important to also get to the stadium nice and early because then you get to also absorb all that energy and get time to calm down.
And observe what's happening with the teams because there's a lot that you get to pick up from what you are seeing, how the team is walking onto the field, what is happening with regards to the technical team, how are they communicating, so you pick up a lot of little things that give you an idea of what's to come.
So also coming
Yeah.
to the stadium early for me is a part of the ritual.
Yes.
You know, if I'm like a bit late, my whole day is going to be a mess. I need to get there even before the teams arrive, walk around the field, look at everything, because the stadiums also become almost like your home, you know? So I know the stadiums very well, go greet everybody.
Yeah.
Once I've done that, relaxed, found my chair, you know, put my bag, then I'm
grounds
like,
you.
game on.
Yeah, no, it grounds you. It's very, very important.
The interesting thing with like what you guys are mentioning, the rituals and I was actually going to say maybe you should speak to your jeweler to have like earrings. You can 1-0, 2-1.
Really? So she must start using her
Oh, no.
It's just a suggestion.
That's insider trading. Like betting people will really start like before you know it, you're busy doing a link.
You are
literally
that person,
zooming into
yes.
like, oh sorry, that was a mistake, but that's actually just a clue of who to bet on. No.
So, being in the stadium, having the presence of mind to actually see the mannerisms of the technical staff, watching the entire game, how much of that do you have to do, considering that after the game, you'd probably have to go speak to the man of the match, whereas you could have been there and maybe sometime you're like, I'm not watching, let me be...
Oh, no, you can't. You cannot. Oh. You cannot. You have to watch the game. You have to listen to what the coach is saying during the game. And that's the one thing I'm enjoying now that we don't have fans. The fact that I'm able to hear everything from both coaches, from even the players as they're talking, above us. You can hear all these
Swear
conversations.
words you've never even imagined before.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that also gives you an idea to say, Coach, when you were shouting this and that instruction, what was going through your mind or whatever the case
It does
may be.
assist a lot
It
with
does
the job.
assist. It
It
does.
does. But we still want the fans back.
Yes.
No, of course,
Yes,
of course we
please.
do. Of course we do. I mean, you're talking about some of the weirdest words that you've ever heard. What's the strangest thing that you've seen while attending a game or working at a game?
Nothing, everything's perfect. I don't know what you're talking about.
My favorite is seeing a particular player, I won't mention their name, and it was at the Dr. Malimela Stadium, Bloemfontein Celtic, Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah. And this particular player was warming up.
Yeah.
And this one fan kept on saying his name. He calls him. And the dude looks up and he just swore at him like so. I was like, wait, you took such a long time trying to get this guy's attention. When you finally do, the only thing coming out of your mouth is swear words. What in the world is wrong with you?
You gotta love self.
That moment for me was just like, okay.
Well, outside of everything that's perfect, surely there's a story to tell.
No, the weirdest thing I've ever seen, check how diplomatic I am. I've seen a guy eating a cabbage. Teams doing anything funny? Me? I've never seen
we
that.
don't know anything about teams that do anything
never
funny.
seen
A
that.
player tripping while warming up or I don't know.
I've actually... No, inside joke, I can't.
I was actually thinking of a moment that just happened this weekend, and even that I can't mention.
Yeah.
So in essence, there's a lot that you guys see.
There is a lot that you see, and honestly, also, Len, it goes with. There's something that we must understand, that for football to exist, it needs fans, but it also needs the media. And these are interconnected relationships. It's a wonderful circle that needs every single cognizant part to function. So this is my relationship with teams, and hopefully they'll also understand that we have to have mutual respect for each other.
There are a lot of things that we protect. And protect intentionally.
Yes.
Because there are certain things that I will see Len as a coach of a team doing that I will never ever mention. Not that Len doesn't know I saw him.
Yes.
But it's, yes.
No, but I mean
but
also.
Besides that, just certain little things.
There are certain things you don't need
They
to
just,
know.
I will never mention them, not to the coach, not on air. They just, it's just one of those things. But like Thato says, it also keeps you in the confidence of the club. Yeah. Because then they know that you're not there to attack. You're not gunning for them. Yeah. There's no malice intended in any way, shape, or form. So that way, even when they have insider information, they can oh, okay, cool. Then they know that it's going to stay within those walls.
Yeah, but there are certain people who are scrupulous, eh? They see you picking your nose, my guy.
And it goes on air.
You're like, was that on a need to know
Really?
basis? Okay.
On those secrets that you guys speak about, maybe I should leave this as the last question.
Yeah.
But before I get there, the best tournament you've ever covered?
Oh my God. The best tournament I've ever covered.
Locally, internationally, even we can go.
The best game I've ever attended.
Well, it can be a tournament or a game.
I wasn't covering it, but I was there. Watching Brazil playing at the Maracanã Stadium. When Neymar was still like, Neymar. And every time that the opposition would touch the ball, they would start whistling and it would literally, your ears would ring from just all those whistles. It was just electric. It was amazing. That, for me, is my number one match that I've ever attended.
This is difficult. Really.
It's rough, eh?
I'm really thinking because, Mpho also said something very important, whether it's a little game or a big game. It's football, bruh. I mean, yesterday I was doing a Glad Africa Championship game and I was like, oh my God, this is fire. I could spend the whole day here. So every game is important, every tournament is important. And I've really done most of them. Yep. So I don't know, Lynn.
But also nothing, to be honest, coming back to the fans though.
Yeah.
Nothing defeats being at the Dr. Molemela Stadium. When
Wow.
when Botha is there with
Yeah.
his shower cap and they are singing
Sunday
for the
afternoon, 3 p.m.
entire
game.
90
3 p.m.
minutes.
game.
What? Like whether Celtic is losing or they don't keep that. Shame.
Yeah, I'm really trying to
Banan.
think, Kaylin.
Banan.
Top of the mind. It probably isn't my number one. And tomorrow, if you ask me, I'll probably have another one.
That's fine.
Bafana, Egypt, AFCON 2019.
Ah,
At
yes.
the Cairo International.
Nkosi Lotcho.
And basically being about 5 South Africans in a sea of red, leaving the hotel in the morning, the Egyptians having absolutely no faith in us. Judy by Africa, down! And then getting to the stadium, I think I literally wanted to cry that day because I also went into that game not believing that we could win it. Like, come on!
It's these ones.
Mohamed Salah and these guys.
Yeah.
So, and then seeing that literally unfold in front of my eyes, and I was in the media center at the time. But after some time, you literally just have to step out, go into the stadium, and you're just looking at the sea of red and everyone's screaming. And it's your team down there. Yo, Len. I was the happiest person walking back to
Can
the
imagine,
hotel.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Masr, out.
Done.
So yeah.
On
top
that
of the
note,
mind.
your favorite local team to actually work while they're playing? Which team do you prefer
that's a
being there
difficult one.
when they play?
To be honest with you, that's a difficult one because I like different teams for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know, there are some that I like because of how they play. There are some that I like because of how organized they are, how you know, everything, by the time you get working, everything is done to the letter. There are some that I like because the hospitality is amazing. You know what I mean? So I don't really have a favorite team that I can say, yo, whenever I see them on the schedule, I'm like, yes. No, I don't. There's different reasons for liking different teams.
And on that note, do you find yourself in a situation that, or how easy is it for you to partition the fact that you love football, whether you're working or you're not working, football is your thing, but you're working, how are you able to sort of take it, take the I love football, this is work, I don't know if you
I hear you.
But do what you love,
do what you love type of thing.
but you're working.
But one thing I've realized, and I've become so good at it, and I think it's a conscious thing, I will celebrate whoever scores. If it's a great goal, yay! That side, yay! So that even whoever is watching is not going to say, but
wait,
no.
Yeah.
A great goal is a great goal.
Yeah.
At that moment, I'm in work mode. If it's phenomenal, I'm like, wowzer, that was amazing. I will acknowledge that. But in terms of partitioning, it becomes hard. It really does. It becomes hard, but football is
All
football.
of
I
them
love
are
football.
amazing.
Yes, I love football.
It's called Huitu Mageta.
Yes.
Do what you
celebrate
love.
everyone.
And you don't have to work a day.
Yeah.
So
So it doesn't feel like work essentially.
No, it's not.
It does and it doesn't. But you also realize how blessed you are. You get to sit and watch your favorite game, not take out a ticket. And then also, speak to people about it. I think that's really nice that you get to speak to people who are passionate about football. You're passionate about football. You're a fan, they are fans, and you get to be their eyes and ears.
The easy days make it not work. The hard days make you remember that you're working.
Actually, and the hard days.
You know, the hard days, you're like, today, guys, today.
Okay, I'm gonna put you guys on,
The spot.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Haven't you been doing that?
No. That was just easy. This one is putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Who do you see? I know. On paper it looks. Who do you see winning the season?
Is that even a conversation?
I'm just asking.
No, but is that even a conversation?
I just want it on record, so that should
Baroka
anything
FC.
changes, then we you
Baroka
said this.
FC. I mean, though, Len.
So, Len.
Okay.
Right. Mathematically,
Yes.
permutations,
Yes.
nama calculator.
Yes. We're good with those in this country. Calculators.
Yeah. But it looks like.
But why are we even having this conversation?
I'd rather hear the CAF Champions League spot.
Okay.
That is definitely
Okay, let's do
something
it. Let's do that.
that is,
Okay,
that
let's
is
do that
still,
then.
that is still
That's a
up in the
conversation.
air. It's
Yeah.
open for everybody and anyone. But of course, Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, second and third, looking
And
great
Royal
for
AM.
that. And Royal AM. So that is interesting. Len, it's obvious, Mamelodi Sundowns is kind of gonna win the title again.
Kinda.
But even participating in African club competitions is a high and esteemed honor, which will fall for Royal AM, Orlando Pirates, or Kaizer Chiefs. You look at Kaizer Chiefs, have got 11 games remaining of the season. Pirates, 8, 7 or so.
9-ish.
Yeah.
You're such a diplomat.
Yes, you have to be. I work on TV. You look at the points difference, it's literally up in the air.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates back to winning ways in the CAF Confederations Cup. They're scoring the goals. They'd like to get out of CAF Confed and next year participate in CAF Champions League. Kaizer Chiefs this season, possibly mathematically able to lift the title, but other than that,
But let's not rule out Stellenbosch as well.
Fair point.
Stellenbosch,
let's not rule them out.
yeah, Stellenbosch as well.
Look, I mean, in the words,
But consistency-wise, I'd say
Yes.
Royal AM,
Yeah.
Kaizer Chiefs,
and
Orlando Pirates
Definitely.
are in the running for those CAF Champions League spots, and that race is going to be very, very interesting to see how it works out. Actually, that's the story for the season.
That's the story. That and what's happening at the very bottom.
yeah,
Those are the two
actually,
stories.
yeah.
but there was a coach who said a league was never won in January or February or March.
No, but
I'm just saying.
these ones have been winning
That's why I
it.
said the calculator.
Yeah.
No, but also these ones have been winning it for how many seasons now?
3.
Thank you very much. I rest my case.
Okay. Well,
Bola decima so.
something like Okay. No, I'm gonna hold you to that. You said Baroka, ne? Okay.
Just say it.
On that note, before
What kind of earrings am I wearing today?
on that, guys, thank you very much for joining us on the Sisonke Diski Chat. Mpho Letsholonyane, Supersport broadcaster.
Yes, sir.
Thato Moeng, also Supersport broadcaster. Which earrings are you?
That's what I'm just Kantilena, I will show you how Sisonke. We're together, man. Why you guys trying to be like this?
I was just like, But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. And thank you very much for joining us as well at home. This has been the Sisonke Diski Chat. I will catch you on the next episode.